Welcome, guys, to round four of the Australia and New Zealand stage series one. If you're not familiar with the Australia and New Zealand stage group, go to www.facebook.com, type in the search channel Australia and New Zealand stage, and you should see this picture on your screen that is there. Come up there, join the group. The more likes they get, the more power they have to attract larger sponsors and more teams to the event. So yeah, support them, particularly if you're in Australia and New Zealand. Quick plug in here for the Kiwi Challenge Series 2, 12th to the 28th of July. Add Steam to your Steam account, add Dota to New Zealand, D2NZ. You can watch the games via him. Unfortunately, this event is closed. It's 18 teams going head to head. The Series 3 starting in just after the TI3 with 24 teams. And quickly, we're going to go quickly to the round. Oh, well, there we go. Round information there is Team Lad versus Pugs for Life. Not particularly familiar with any of these teams, but yeah, quick plug in for myself. As you can see there on the screen, there's my web, YouTube, Twitch channel, and email. If you want me to cast your games, or if you want to look at some of the past games that I've done before, you can easily just go along to one of those channels. Straight into the draft here, and I'm going to hand it over to my co-caster Jason. Tell us about these bands. Tell us about these picks. What do you think?
It's pretty standard. Bad Rider and Blues ban out, but probably the trend is ban out because of the annoying healing power. But Nyx and Knights are still available in the pool, so I'm kinda excited to see what happens next.
As you're right, yeah, you can see Batrider is generally one of those heroes that is banned out in the early ban bracket just because his ability to really lasso and pull people out of position is really, really strong in that mid-lane position. Also, Trent, in my opinion, Trent is one of the best heroes in the game. His global heal, being able to heal just not only heroes but also towers, as probably most players are aware, but also he is probably one of the best initiators once you get a Blink Dagger, or he just come out of stealth, locked in that team. That lockdown goes straight through BKB, it goes through Rage, it locks people in place, it even breaks some of the channeling abilities, so probably one of the best initiators of the game, and they've been quite smart to ban those out. On the Dire team, they have banned out Wisp, again, another early Wisp ban, everyone not liking that Wisp because of his ability to really give a global presence to any other hero. They're able to jump into any team fight and just sort of add their extra damage before escaping safely. And also banning OD. That OD ban being quite unusual, probably is because they have a particular hero in mind they don't want to fight, don't want to match up against OD. Looking at those pickups that we see here, they've picked up Nyx Assassin, they've picked up Weaver, two really, really strong heroes, particularly that Nyx Assassin. He's so great at the early the team fight initiation, but he's really, really good also at just sort of ganking and picking off those lone heroes. Weaver, again, we saw Weaver in the previous game, we see him in many games. He's really, really good as that solo lane position, but he's got that ability to dive and then also use his ult to get out. He can really, really chase and harass, but he can also escape. So many escapes, you cannot lock down the Weaver, it's really, really hard. On the Radiant side, we see here, we've got a Lone Druid being picked up for the first time, I think, in this event. I'm not sure if the other two games had Lone Druid. Did they have Lone Druid in any other previous games?
Yeah, they did the first game. I think.
This Lone Druid likely to be in the long lane position or safe lane position by himself. Possibly long lane, but we may see some next level plays. We may see him in that mid position. We've seen that happen a number of times. I've called it long lane and solo, but unfortunately, in those scenarios, he's ended up being in the middle. They've also picked up Shadow Demon. Shadow being really, really strong again for that trailing position. We see him picked up a lot of games because of his ability to initiate with the disruption. But also, a lot of people don't realize how powerful Soul Catcher is. Soul Catcher with that ult, really, really strong in terms of single target DPS. But that Soul Catcher just really, really for me, that is ST disruption. Soul Catcher, you can really, really put a lot of damage onto people. Next set of bans, what do you think about those bans, Jason?
I think they are really scared about the power from Weaver, and because of the possibility of using Knights, so they ban out the Knights. But I'm not sure why Turk's team has banned out the anti-mage. Probably they want to go some scary carry.
Yeah, they're looking to minimize the pool. They see that they've picked up a Nexus Saxon, they've picked up a Weaver. They're probably going to pick up one more hard carry for that hard carry position. It's going to probably be an Alchemist or a Juggernaut, possibly Anti-Mage, possibly what's that guy, Spectre, or and they're looking to minimize that pull. They don't want to fight against anti-mage for whatever reason. They hate it. Um, so they've banned out there. They've done the smart thing of banning out in the second ban pool, banning out that life stealer. Um, in most tier one games we see you pick up your supports first, you pick up your carries last. That I think that Lifestealer ban might have been slightly premature. I think if Pugs for Life wanted to pick up that Life Stealer, they would have done so in the first pick, but that's just my personal opinion. On the Radiant side, you can see they've banned out Storm Spirit, they've banned out Anti-Mage, as Jason has called. He's not sure why the Anti-Mage ban is there. I think it's just because it may be meta preference. They just don't want to fight it. But you can see here, they've picked up Visage for the Dire team. That Visage being picked up so many times for that tri lane position if they go tri lane. This might be a 2-1-2 split because it is still not they haven't dedicated their hero allocation just yet, but it's likely to be a tri lane, especially with the Visage. His ability to nuke and in late game with harass and also use those familiars to stun people are just really, really strong. And they've picked up Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain being one of those heroes that I love to cast because she dominates the ruins and she has that really powerful early game scream. Can really wreck their team fights, especially when you combo out with an Nyx Assassin. Those two together, she can blink in while he's stunning somebody. They can easily pick up a hero and possibly a Zakuza Weaver coming in on the side. So this is going to be a game of lots of ganks. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be a game of lots of ganks. We should see a lot of versatility between those two heroes I just mentioned. If not, then they're going to suffer. They need to gank with those heroes, especially Queen of Pain, because she's got a carry status star, but she's not a late game carry. She's a mid game, early game sort of carry. She can kind of carry in the late phases if she has this amazing snowball effect, but I don't expect it to happen at this level of play. While on the Radiant side, they've picked up Jinkaro. Jinkaro again being really, really strong. We've seen Jinkaro being used in the trailing position. You've got Shadow Demon, you've got Jinkaro. They've only given away, in terms of Pug for Life's drafting lineup, they've only given away what their long lane's going to be. And they now picked up Luna. Luna probably going to go with those two supports for the tri lane, but they're giving themselves options. They haven't yet decided what that's going to be their mid position, so they could pick up another hero for that side lane position. And we can see here the ban out from the Dire side on Puck. What do you think about Puck there, Jason?
I think that they really know that Puck can actually win Akasha, so that's why they pick up ban up the mid heroes and just waiting for them to get another carry. I would say Puck team will go for Magnus to team up with Luna and the power of Jakiro, since they haven't picked up a mid hero yet. But Magnus is not gonna do well versus Queen of Pain, so I'm not sure what they're gonna do.
Yeah, there's only one hero left currently in the pool that I know that does well against Queen of Pain, and I don't think they're going to do it. It is DK. DK does actually do very, very well in the mid lane against the Queen of Pain. Most people tell me I'm wrong, but the number of casts that I've done where DK has, started off reasonably weak and then sort of just accelerated into this phase where they've totally smashed them in mid position. But we've seen Night Stalker being picked up and Windrunner. Wow. That was an unexpected pick.
Yeah, especially the Night Stalker, I love it.
Yeah, Night Stalker being one of those heroes that everyone is quite infamous in the pub scene. Obviously, you've all played the game before. You've all come across a game where there's been an out of control Night Stalker. It's nighttime, and you're all basically hugging the towers because you're scared you're going to get ganked.
Yeah, must be from this game, Akasha and Night Stalker.
I am slightly more interested in this Windrunner pickup. I'm not sure where the Windrunner is going to go. That must mean that they're going to put the Weaver in the tri lane. Let's have a quick look here. And also the early game items, see if anyone's going to pick up some smoke. Sentry Ward's being picked up on Shadow Demon to D-Ward. No smoke being picked up on Visage. Only the Dire being picked up smoke. We may see an early smoke here if they choose to use it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a dead 100 gold until the later phase in the game. Oh, and I've lost my co-caster, unfortunately. You guys, I'm going to be flying solo just for a short period of time. My co-caster has disappeared. I'm not sure where he's gone. That's okay. I've done this before, so I should be okay. In any case, in this bottom lane position here, we've got Druid going in for that long lane. So no, he's not even long lane. He's going into the safe lane. He's going to go up against a tri-lane which consists of Visage, it consists of Nyx, who is the third hero, it's Windrunner. That confuses me. That seems really, really weird. But it has all the elements of a tri-lane. It has Windrunner with the shackle, it has Visage with slow, and it also has the impale from the Nyx. So Nyx probably going to fulfilling the role of the carry in that tri-lane, or potentially Windrunner. They could all grab it. No one's going to be scared to right-click down a hero, given that none of them are carries. Although this could be just a tricky rotation in the mid lane here. It looks like it's probably either going to be Visage or Weaver. Probably Weaver at this stage, and in the bottom lane for top lane. Top lane. Excuse me, top lane for the Radiant. We've got the tri-lane which consists of Luna, consists of Shadow Demon, because of Jinkara. That's a tri-lane that I think is going to work really, really well. There's a stun on Luna. There's a stun on. There's an initiate with the disruption. Technically a lockdown with the disruption, and there's also the ice wall. So ice path. There's all three of those working together are going to work really, really well in terms of picking up a hero, particularly if it's going to be a lone hero. And now I'm really confused. We see Visage rotating into the top lane by himself. This seems to be some sort of jostling with the lanes. No one really sure. It's going to be a tri-lane in the top position. They see that the lone droid's by himself, and they've decided to quickly rotate into the top lane. So it's going to be a 3-on-3 scenario. In the bottom lane here, we have lone droid versus Weaver. My pick here is that the lone droid is actually going to do slightly better. I've seen this matchup a number of times. The CS normally goes in favour of the lone droid because he has that bear to harass. He can just send that bear onto the Weaver. The Weaver eventually is forced to fall back. He can't have enough right-click damage in the early phase to bring in this bear, so he's forced to retreat. So in this scenario, I think it's going to go in the favour of the lone droid. And lone droid being one of those heroes that really late game, if he gets that radiance on the bear, you're scared. You're really scared. That bear can just farm your jungle, farm your lanes without any problems, without having to right click. In the mid lane, and the pushing power from that bear is just amazing. In the bottom lane, in the mid lane here, we've got Quinny playing against against Night Stalker. I don't think Night Stalker is actually going to have a good time in this particular matchup. I would not have put Night Stalker in that lane if it was up to me, because the harassment potential from, as you can see on your screen, the really early game harassment potential from Queen of Pain is really strong. She's going to shut down this Night Stalker. But I guess time will tell, and the CS will either ratify my statement or make me eat my hat. In the top lane here, we've got that tri-lane we talked about, and this weird tri-lane consisting of Nyx, Windrunner and Visage, none of those being particularly a carry as such. Nyx doing the supporting by looking like he's going to be stacking here, which means that Windrunner is potentially playing as the carry, rabbit ear sort of things. Potentially sitting in as the position as a carry for this particular tri-lane. They've got all the elements there. I don't know how well it's going to work, in all honesty. Let's say late game this stage. Are you back there, Jason?
Sorry?
You're back. You DC'd.
Oh, yeah, I'm back.
So what do you think about this tri-lane that consists of the Windrunner in the top lane?
I think it's pretty should work for them, and I've seen it done in some of the tournament, but just the rotation earlier is a little bit bad, and Nyx is actually putting down a ward right next to the enemy, so and they don't have a.
And we see a lot of action going on in the bottom lane. Rotation in from the Queen of Pain with Ice Path, easily picks off that Luna. Really well played by the Radiant. They pick off a second and possibly a third with this Queen of Pain with DD. Easy killing spree for the Queen of Pain, picking up all 3 kills. The Radiant choosing to contest this pull. They got a lot of that CS, but they paid for it with their lives. And you can see there, you can see that 3 minutes and 20 seconds already got the power treads.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, and all those kills obviously.
Yeah,
all those kills obviously going onto the right here. It could have easily have gone one to Nyx, one to Windrunner, and one to Visage, but they all went onto Windrunner, onto Queen of Pain, and that's where you want them to go.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, and I missed in the bottom lane. Looks like Weaver actually picked off the bear. My earlier comment about the bear being in a better position to out-harass the Weaver was actually incorrect. You know, obviously player skill not being taken into account. You missed this because you were DC'd. I called that the Druid would probably be in a better position for this bottom lane because he can just set the bear onto the Weaver, but that's obviously not how it's turned out.
Yeah.
We see a bit of a rotation in here from the top lane into the mid to try and pick from here, but they can see that the Night Stalker's really pushed, and they're not really willing to tower dive. Oh, and Weaver picking off the Druid again. This, oh wait, Druid, the Weaver going down. This is not looking good for the Dire team. The Dire in a position where, well, I should say, what's the teams? It's Lad. Team Lad are not looking like they're in a good position just now. Pugs for Life really dominating this early game. However, in saying that, we can see here that this, in all lanes, they're winning all the lanes. There isn't a lane where even, maybe the bottom lane. You can see Druid's picked up slightly more CS, but he's paid for it with his life twice. So probably the CS doesn't reflect the total gold net worth gold. Yeah, net worth says that Druid is sitting behind the Weaver. But yeah, they're losing all the lanes. This is not good for lads. They've got really good synergy with their heroes. They are mid game sort of synergies where but they need to not be giving up. Oh wow. And yet again, we see Weaver being played, as we talked about earlier before, using those abilities to dive as opposed to escape. And that's 3 kills for the Weaver to, you know, this just Druid really just feeding this Weaver just here. And in the mid lane, we see Queen of Pain picking off Night Stalker. This is looking terrible. There's no way to say it. They're already at 6 minutes, sitting at a 4,000 XP difference in terms of the teams, and almost the same in gold. Queen of Pain rotating in, picking off Luna, picking off Visage. No, she changes to attack at CSD, and with the haste rune, she looks like she's going to also take off this. Yeah, she also takes off. This is officially from Omega Kai a pub stomping type scenario. The graphs say that they're at a 5,000 bracket, and we talked about this in many of my casts. If you can get to the 10,000k difference before the 10 minutes, that is officially an unrecoverable position. I have not seen a game where the team could actually recover from a 10,000k deficit in either gold or XP at a 10-minute bracket. It's almost impossible. And they're sitting at 1 for 10. You know, what's going through the minds of the Radiant, Jason? What do you think? Are you there, Jason? I seem to have lost my co-caster just again. But yeah, as you can see, this is not going at all in favour of the Radiant. What are they going to do? You know, psychologically, they're already on the back foot. They're already feeling like they should just probably give up. You know, and that's the problem in a lot of team games. You know, you could be defeated by yourself. They need to just stick it out. They have the hero synergy. They have the capability. They might not have the individual player skill. As obvious by the bottom lane, the Druid giving up 4 times, but they have the synergy, so they need to not be defeated by themselves and just stick it out. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I think the only way to come back is all depend on Luna and Night Stalker gang. Otherwise, there's no coming back because Akasha is far too ahead of them.
Yeah, and you can already see that she's gone on to her Null's Talisman. She's now got a quarter staff. She looks like she's going to be building into probably, if it was my bet, I'd be looking into the Oblivion staff, so also looking at Silent Stick really early. But she might be even building into a Butterfly just for lols. If I was the Radiant Dire, I'd be feeling very confident now. I'd feel that this game is in the bag. Look at this position from the Queen of Pain on the bottom rank. She knows that they're going to push up this lane. She's comfortable just sitting there, wasting this time, not picking up CS because she's so far ahead.
Yeah.
No, she's now choosing to TP out to another position, probably bottom position. No, where did she go? TP's into middle. Looks like she's trying to pick off this Night Stalker, but unfortunately not not going to work. And I think the Radiant have now realized putting Night Stalker in the mid position against Queen of Pain probably wasn't the greatest idea, given that she can easily get rune domination. She's got that flexibility with the Bing and that powerful early game screen. Oh, she gets shut down, she gets disrupted. Unfortunately, all those abilities don't hit her because she was disrupted. Even though she got Soul Catcher, that ability I talked about earlier being so powerful, they didn't actually hit her with any of those Jinkaro breaths. So it adds insult to injury. You know, this bear now coming into his own right a little bit. He's able to really tank it up against this Weaver. He can now start to out-harass this Weaver, but even though this Weaver is in a position of farm. Oh, look at that. They use the silence on the Weaver, but he's already stealth and he gets away. Winner picking up another Luna kill. This Luna not really working out for Pal's, was it Pug for Life? They're really getting ruffle stomped here. There's nothing they you know, I don't like to call it because they can't see the graphs that I can see, but my graphs tell me that this is as close as you're going to get to a GG.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has
and yet again another early tower for the Dire. This is, you know, if I look at the graphs, it's plateaued slightly. Oh wow, just so many kills everywhere. The Radiant, they're hemorrhaging kills, they're hemorrhaging XP, they can't pick up anybody. We've got Nyx picking off Night Stalker probably in this position here. We've got Weaver picking off people everywhere. This is a bloodbath. There's nothing that the Radiant can do. This is officially, from my perspective, this is officially GG. How can you come back from this? What can you do, Jason? What can the Radiant do to salvage the situation?
The only thing I can see is covering Luna, not let Luna alone, and hopefully they make some stupid mistake like just now. So that's the only way they can come back. Otherwise, it's just over.
Yeah, I think you're right. Visage picking up a couple of smokes here. They're probably looking to possibly get some kills and sort of stabilize in terms of their hemorrhaging. Will basically stop their blood loss in terms of XP gain. Or but you know, my viewers know that we're officially at a snowball no return. They're over 10k. It was almost 10 minutes, 10,000k. This is an unrecoverable position. This is not looking good for the Radiant team. Pow is looking like they're going to get eliminated, and it looks like the other team is going to go into the next round.
Underway at Radiant's top tower.
And Queen of Pain looking like she's picking up yet another kill. No, Weaver picking that one up, and they're going to get yet another tower. We've got Night Stalker looking for a place to escape. He's got nowhere to go. He's being picked off. Easy pickings for this team, and psychologically, if you were the Radiant, you'd be just sort of wanting to throw the tower in right now.
Yeah, just the poor warding and supporting from Radiant team.
Yeah, there seems to be a huge gulf in the ability of these two teams at this stage in the game. You can see there is no competition in terms so far at this early stage game between them. They're easily going to probably pick up this bottom tier 3 tower, also tier 1 tower, and it's going to be 3 towers before 17 minutes, I believe. And that's just going to give them such a huge gold boost, particularly to their supports. They're going to really get out those early mechs, and that's just going to result in the snowball effect.
War has come to
and I'm looking at this graph. You can't see this graph as my co-caster, but my viewers can see this graph. It's telling me there's over a 12,000 difference in gold at 13 minutes. That is phenomenal. It looks like it's going to be 13k any minute now. And you know, there you go. You got Queen of Pain. She's already got her Bolivian stuff. This is just bad news everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I made the cast earlier before the Queen of Pain. She isn't a late game carry. She is an early mid game carry, and you know they're delivering. They're delivering in terms of what they're doing. Sla is really punishing them for basically their choice of putting Night Stalker in the middle. He had basically he had to wait till night time to be able to shut her down, and before the first night she had already picked up 4 kills. and so that's just basically from that point they're not being able to recover. And yet there's another kill there. They pick up one kill in exchange for the Weaver. Probably a win in my book, given that they're so far behind, and the Weaver is substantially more farmed than the Night Stalker. I don't think Luna's going to save them here. Looks like Queen of Plains looking to block the lane with her images, while also right-clicking down this tower and the creep wave. While in the middle lane, you've got a bit of a... They've got pressure everywhere. They've got pressure in the bottom lane. They've got pressure in the mid lane. They've got pressure on the top lane. The Radiant don't know what to do. They're all kind of sort of... You can see these three guys in the middle. They're kind of meandering around in terms of deciding which lane to go on. In the bottom, we've got Visage and Nyx pushing on this bottom lane. In the top lane, we've got just Queen of Pain pushing it. And in the mid lane, we've got Windrunner pushing it. These guys, they're confined. Their sphere of control is this tiny little bar here. Whereas... Whereas the Dire, they have comfortably 75 the map under control. So this is not good. I don't even know what to say as a caster. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb. Well, this game is going to be over before the 22nd minute. I don't see this game going beyond 22 minutes.
Yeah, agree.
In the next 7 minutes, we're going to see probably more pickup on the Queen of Pain in terms of items. Maybe possibly even a Dagon or the Weaver finishing his Lincoln Sphere quite easily in the next 7 minutes. This Queen of Pain being picked off just by Luna and the rest of the team, but you know, due to a little bit of overconfidence, but she buys back. She knows she can pick them off. She knows they're all really, really low. No, they're not low. Miscast there for me. Only one of them's low. Radiant's starting to sort of play 5-man Dota now in response to this these split pushes all over the place. They are doing a reasonable job in terms of holding off this assault, but should the Dire sort of get together and do their 5-man, it's bad news. Bad news bears everywhere. This Queen of Pain being a bit ballsy by herself on her own. She gets caught on a nice path. She gets right click down. She gets silence. There's an... Oh wait, there's all the abilities go down on her, but there's no follow through from the rest of the team. The rest of the Dire team come in. They look... Damage is spread everywhere. No concentration of focus fire. And we see Lone Jury going down. Luna running in with her ult, not really picking off anybody. All these ults being used. No cohesion from the Radiant team. All kind of reactionary panic abilities, whereas Queen of Pain is just sort of right-clicking, casually right-clicking down people, throwing some daggers here and there, screaming, not even using her ult just yet to pick off anyone. It's on cooldown already. Weaver also assisting her, and this is, you know, from my perspective, this is where they should be Raxing. This is where the Radiant is probably going to call GG.
Dominating! Ultra kill!
Wow, and she dodges that ice path like a pro.
War has come to Radiant's bottom tower.
And she's just casually walking around in their base, not really caring. There's nothing they can do. She knows that this game is totally won by them already.
Axes, please!
And we see Weaver taking a lot of damage. Is he going to go down? No, he uses Kuzi to get away. No, he does officially get picked off by the Luna ability. It's 1 for 2, but they're so far behind the Radiant. They need to sort of basically wipe them several times in order to win this game. Again, everybody dodging that ice path. That ice path picking up nobody. And there's a TP in. There's a TP in. The TP in from Luna. She's looking to help. She's going to try and right-click down this Queen of Pain, but she escapes. And we're going to probably see a retreat here from the Radiant. They're all two really, really low. They look like they're TPing out. And Windrunner is possibly going to go down. No, he uses Windrunner to get away. Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain really pushing her luck here. She's being disrupted. But she gets away. And the Queen of Pain picking up Night Stalker at the last second there just before blinking away. Radiant really on the back foot, sitting at 15,000 deficit in terms of XP. It's not even 20 minutes, and 20,000 gold difference, 22,000 almost. You know, there's nothing they can do. You know, what do you do in this situation? You know, what do you do as the Dire? What do you think?
The only thing they can do probably now is just cover Luna and make sure the big heavy, and other than that I don't think they can do much.
Right,
Because
what they can do
Red,
is, I've seen it before, they can come back, they've already demonstrated they can pick off the heroes one at a time. You know, they were 5-manning, they picked off Queen of Pain, they picked off Weaver, they picked off Runner. All of those 3 heroes died individually because they were getting sort of this overconfidence effect because they're so far ahead. What they really need to do is basically bait the rest of the heroes with the rest of the heroes and leave Luna to free farm, because if Luna can get enough free farm, then perhaps they can come back from this.
Yeah.
Roshan and the Dire never did get along.
Weaver picking up the Aegis instead of Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain feeling that she has enough escapes to be able to just deal damage anyway. Actually having no room, actually. Deciding, hey guys, I have no room, you guys take it. Nyx picking up a Blink Dagger. What do you think about a Blink Dagger on Nyx? Is that something that you would go for on Nyx Assassin?
Yeah, it's quite popular. It's gives you much more initiation. But normally in pub mods they go for Dagon. But myself, I still prefer the Dagon because you can possibly turn the hero into a carry.
Luna going for that early BKB, well, late BKB, it's 20 minutes. They have managed to sort of stifle this assault from the Dire team, but here comes another one. If they can hold back this assault, this game will go longer than 22 minutes. If they lose this Rax, I'm pretty sure here this is the stage where they'll just score GG, because they can see the kill ratio, they can see the farm on the enemy team, they know where they are at. They might not be able to see the graphs that we can see, but they know the game is not good. Everyone jostling for position here. There's a Windrunner who's pushing by herself. A few pings going down on her. She's just going to push in that lane. She's going to rotate into the bottom position. They're going to dive. This is going to be a dive. I can see it now. DD being being activated on the Queen of Pain. This is going to be a dive. They're going to wipe them. I can feel it in the air. Here they go. They're just going to right click down this tower. They come to respond. No, they're playing it safe. They're going to take this. They're going to take the Rex. Weaver goes in deep. Yeah, here comes the dive. They're all running in. Queen of Pain unleashes her ult, and 1, 2, 3 go down. No, 2 go down. 3 go down. Jinkara and Icehawk retreat to the WoW. They have no real choice. Weaver has Jacuzzi. Oh, and Queen of Pain runs in to ruin that scenario. Here is the GG. This is going to be where the GG comes. They're going to take this Rex, and I'm pretty sure we are going to see a GG here at 23 minutes. And Radiant forgetting that guy has the Aegis.
Radiant's bottom barracks are bearing up stoically in the face of, not to pick sides, but Axe's favorite Radiant bottom barracks have fallen. Oh.
And this is really 2 teams who are not evenly matched, playing against each other. It's unfortunate. The last cast we could see the teams are the game was really close. The teams were evenly matched in this game. Lad really walking all over Pug for Life. There's no real chance that these PAL guys have. Whatever chance that they had is gone. They're now just dragging the game out. They're probably just going to make them work for this last kill. They're now all rotating into different lanes. They're going to take the rest of these racks, and there's going to be mega creeps. Can't really fault anyone for their play. I think I don't want to say it, but I think the laning allocation is probably what really put Lad on the back foot. They had a good draft. In fact, they had a very strong draft, in my opinion. I think they had a stronger draft, a little bit stronger draft than PAL. But the fact that they laid up that Night Stalker against the Queen of Pain, it was obviously going to be middle, rather than putting the Druid in there. I think the Druid probably would have been better in that mid lane position, or at least Luna. Night Stalker being melee, not really being able to deny or fucking get last hits, whereas one of those other heroes that I mentioned probably could have done better in that mid lane position, at least it's shutting down Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
Axe
We
observes
see a
carnage
few
underway at
abilities being
Radiant's
chucked down.
top
We see
tower.
Visage go down, but at this stage in the game, it's a given, right? I mean, look at Runrunner. She's picked up a Battle Fury of all things. I mean, this is how crazy this game is. She's got a Hand of Midas. She's got a Battle Fury. She's got a Maelstrom. And I've lost my co-caster yet again. Seems that he's having some internet difficulties, but unfortunately, it doesn't really matter because this game is a forgiven. This game is a given. You can tell without a doubt this game is going in the favor of of lads.
Killing spree! Double
It's
kill!
not even a competition for this particular game, you know. And I mean this as the best respects to PAL.
Radiant's middle tower
They
is
probably
under
do really
attack.
well as a team, but in this particular scenario, they're not doing well, and they have called GG. The disconnects come up, and
Radiant's middle
Windrunner
tower
being
is
a bit of a
under
dick in
attack.
terms of saying it's not over yet, but yeah, it is clearly over. Thanks, Pal, for playing in this event. Don't get disheartened. I think your draft was pretty. You actually won the drafting phase in terms of hero selection. I think, obviously, let's not count player skill difference, but I think you lost out on the laning phase. I think putting Nightstalker in that mid position really backfired. But thanks for playing anyway, and thanks to the watchers. I'm sure I'm going to get an angry email from somebody saying that I was wrong about them winning the draft, but I'm pretty sure they won the draft. And let's do some plugins now. Yeah, okay, Australia and New Zealand stage. Go to their Facebook page, I'm looking at their page now. They've only got like 40 something likes. I don't think it's enough. You guys who are watching my casts, even if you're not going to really commit to these guys in terms of their events, you should go to their Facebook page. You should hit like, because it means that they can get more sponsors. The more sponsors they can get, the more events they can run, and that's what we want inside the Duda community. We want to see more events, and these guys, they put up prize money. They put up prize money out of their own pocket. It's not like they had a sponsor that supported them. They coughed up a whole bunch of money from their own pockets for this event. So you guys should support them and should at least like them for that. Just a plug-in for the Kiwi Challenge Series 2, 12th to 28th of July. Add D2NZ or Dota New Zealand to your Steam profile to watch those games. The intake for that event is currently closed. It's 18 teams going head-to-head. Australian New Zealand teams, mostly New Zealand teams. It's because it's all on New Zealand timetable. Going to be the largest Australasian event currently, unofficially. And they're looking to go for 24 players in after the TI3. This game was Lad versus Pugs for Life. Clearly, all in the favor of Lad. You can see this at the top of the screen there. My links to YouTube, my links to Twitch, my email address. Send me an email if you want me to cast your games. I'm always open to casting. In fact, I really enjoy casting. I think it's the greatest thing ever. And great thanks to ANZ and my co-caster Jason, who DC'd like a number of times during the game, but that's okay. And we'll see you for the next round.